Many people who are narcissistic struggle with addiction. Addiction to what? Studies show alcohol, cocaine, marijuana, corn, and gambling. We're going to talk about substance addiction. This is important for everyone to understand, so let's start at a basic level. Do addictions to alcohol and substances cause abuse? Unequivocally, no. But an abuser will want you to think it does, and here's why. Not only does it give them an excuse, it can bond the two of you further. Now it's you and your abuser against the problem. And they're not the problem. The addiction, that's the real problem. But here's where I'd like to rhetorically ask a question. Are all alcoholics abusers? Are all drug users abusive? The answer is, of course not. Well, then this begs the question, why is your abuser only abusive when they're drinking or high? Or perhaps why are they most abusive then? These substances, they become the excuse. The reality is the role that addiction plays in abuse is so misunderstood. I think we can all agree that there are some similarities between addiction and abuse. The way that it escalates, lying, manipulation, lack of predictability, minimizing, blaming, the list goes on. An addict has the ability to hit rock bottom. They can change their life. I've seen it. Substance abuse is self-destructive. Of course, it destroys other things, but fundamentally, it is self-destructive. Intimate partner abuse, on the other hand, is profoundly destructive to others. If an addict were abusive when they were drinking, and not all are, but the ones that are who I'm talking about here, they have an ability to stop being abusive when they stop drinking. But an abuser doesn't. The drugs and alcohol that these abusers are most often addicted to have no biological connection to being violent or abusive. Now, none of this is to say that alcohol and substances have no connection to abuse. If your abuser thinks that alcohol and drugs bring out the abusiveness, it will. But more importantly, drugs and alcohol provide abusers a free pass, at least in their own minds. It's a pass to act on their desire to be abusive, to have power and control. In these cases, alcohol and substances is an excuse that the abuser themselves accepts. All you really have to do is listen to these abusers talk. You can tell the difference between an addict and an abuser. When abusers become sober, they start to make even more excuses for why they're still abusive. Alcohol and substances don't fundamentally change a person's value system. Personalities can alter a bit, still bear some resemblance to who they truly are. Think about how you behave if you've ever been intoxicated. Do you hit people when you're drunk? Do you scream at your partner? One important thing to remember is that abuse is always a conscious choice. Addiction merely becomes a weapon of abuse. Sometimes even worse, now you really feel like you can't leave. You wouldn't want to threaten their sobriety. Abusers want endless power and control. They want blind loyalty.